It's October 2023, and the oldest courtesy diner in St. Louis is now on Hampton Avenue near Forest Park, a title it did not have until this location gave it up in May 2022, citing staffing issues. This lunch counter at 3153 South Kingshighway dates back to 1935, and in 1997 was the last out of what was once more than a dozen operating under the name Courtesy Sandwich Shop, when a new owner took over, changed the name to Courtesy Diner, and actually expanded his rebranded chain back up to 3. Only 2 Courtesy Diners exist in St. Louis now, and while they certainly deliver the classic diner standards, they don't have the historical provenance this one did. A resilient survivor of St. Louis's classic urban flight story for decades, this unabated 24-hour oasis of working-class fare was ultimately yet another slow-bleeding victim of the pandemic of 2020, as they never recoveraged all 3 shifts afterward, and staffing the place only became more difficult to the point of futility. In the summer of 2023, the building was put on the market for $550,000, yet managed to find an acceptable counteroffer within a few weeks, and a new gastronomic chapter for this cramped little ancient tank of a building was begun. I suppose then you could have called it a lunch counter offer. I eventually learned this was to be reopened as Chuck's Hot Chicken, which I had never heard of and didn't realize was a franchise chain at first, albeit a local one. Once I did, I found there was a location in a strip mall in Rock Hill, so I went there to try the food, for research purposes, and I gotta say it was really quite good and pretty fair value. I even went back a second time with a friend. This will all turn out to be relevant, as I'll explain in a minute, but at the moment I'm just happenstantially filming this old historical scene of Americana before they change it, when the new restaurateur shows up. Shocked at my uncanny luck of timing once again, I convinced him to let me film the inside for posterity before it was touched, as you were about to see. He even let me come back the following week to film some mid-remodeling and a tour of the basement, which will be presented in the second half of this videology. They had planned a December opening, but I couldn't find any current information on this location while editing this in February, so conducting my own reconnaissance mission became necessary to finish the video. What I found was this place impressively fixed up and looking ready to go, as soon as whatever 90-year-old building in St. Louis City hiccups may have occurred. Find that footage enclosed in the second envelope as well. Before going inside to enjoy frozen-in-time scenes with partially organic sound, I want to take a minute to give an unpaid endorsement. You see, the second time I went to the Rock Hill store, I discovered the current manager there at the time was the same guy starting his own franchise in this comparatively more eclectic choice of location. So it seems he is well versed in the restaurant part of his plan, but then why, against safer, more conventional business sense, would he plunge into perpetuating some 90-year-old relic in pre-gentrified St. Louis City? I choose to conclude he too has some sentimental heart for history and a little sense of adventure and perspective. I mean, strip mall leases don't typically come with an old car hop amenity to utilize and distinguish your franchise. But my point is, if St. Louis is to get better, new, young, gutsy entrepreneurial blood like this needs to be given a chance and support where deserved. So consider treating yourself to a step above more over-corporatized choices once in a while and buy a chicken sandwich from this guy. After all, he let me film this footage, and personally, that's enough for me to encourage checking it out right there. Thank you for watching.
So, yeah, I was getting them everything, basically besides half of that line over there is getting torn out. Yeah.
How old is this building?
Oh God,
1900.
right, 100. Yeah, it said founded in 1935 downstairs somewhere.
Oh, it's
So that one up